This is a Cincy fan talking with LP. You can catch me on Twitter. That's a Cincy fan talking. You say it like it sounds, just leave off the G. If you have ideas for the show, you can reach me at Cincy_fan_talk at yahoo.com. If you have any suggestions for the show, make sure you leave them there. Who knows, you might find yourself as part of the show. Any feedback would be definitely appreciated. And also, make sure you hit the Linktree page that's on my Twitter. Make sure you click on that. You can find all the different ways to contact me there. Enjoy the show.
What's up? What's going on, everybody out there in Podcastville or Podcast Land or whatever it is nowadays? Welcome to a historic episode of a Cincy fan talking with LP. And of course, this is LP. And for the first time, I am not alone. Yeah, I got my homeboy being here with me from the Death, Taxes, and Sports podcast. So, hey, what's going on, Ben?
What's up, LP? Happy to be your first guest. Honored, and hopefully I make your show better, or at least the same as it is.
Hey, we're making history, man, so it's already better. It's all good.
I know, right? First time for everything. So glad to be on, and always down for some good sports conversation.
Right on. Appreciate you coming by, man. You guys have a really good pod, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. So appreciate you.
Yeah, man. It's all. I kind of started this, with the idea of see what happens, where it goes. But, I think there are some podcasts that are, kind of like, let me do my thing. I'm going to just kind of promote myself and, maybe trying to compete. But to me, it's just kind of the opposite. To me, it's just like, why don't we all support each other so we all can grow and get bigger? Why wouldn't we do that? So I don't know. That's the way that I look at it. So happy to be part of, your podcast. Happy that, you came on mine. So yeah, man, I think that's the right mindset.
100% agree, man. Well, 100% agree. I wish a whole lot of other podcasters had that same mindset, man. But happy to have you here. Happy for your vibe. And how you feel about your football team this year?
Yeah, so Cowboys fans, so it's been a long time since we did anything in the playoffs. I mean, we've had plenty of good regular seasons, but then always seem to fall short in the playoffs the last 26 years or something like that. I just can't even remember how long it's been. Well, I know it was 1996, but anyways, but this offseason, man, it's like, I don't know. It seems like the entire division got better, and we're the only team that, their roster going into this year is worse than it was that ended last year. I mean, I do think that I think the closest competition is probably the team that made the playoffs last year, the Eagles. I think that they got, really good. They got Nakobe Dean, the linebacker from Georgia, which everyone thought was going to the first round, got him in the third round.
Right.
Obviously, their big move was, A.J. Brown from the Titans, getting him. And, yeah, I mean, I was pretty satisfied with the Dallas draft. I mean, one thing that I like is they stuck to their needs. What do we need? Let me pick what we need. And I like that third round pick, Jalen Tolbert. He's from South Alabama. He had close to 1,500 yards receiving last year. So I like, that pick. And ultimately, man, I think that, I mean, we talk about the NFL being a quarterback league. So I think quarterback play matters, and I still think that Dak's the best quarterback in the division. So I think we're still going to win the division, to be honest.
I would agree with you. I mean, the Eagles did get better. The Commanders, I mean, they're the Commanders. They don't like you guys, so they'll definitely play you hard twice. But I feel like you guys are the best team in the division. I'm really upset that the Bengals cannot play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Like that really hurt my heart.
Yeah, that would have been legit. That would have been cool. You know what's weird is Dallas actually starts with the same team on opening night. They played well in opening night last year. It was opening night. This year it's still week one. They played Tampa in week one, same
Yeah, I
as
saw
last year.
that. Yeah, that was kind of weird. It's like the NFL, they're like, we know what's going to get us ratings and we're just going to stick with that. Forget if you're tired of it. This is what we're doing.
I mean, Dallas is just, even though they don't win anything, which is just true. I mean, they just get primetime games because people either love them or hate them. So people watch them. So NFL, just like any other league, is about money. So Dallas gets a lot of primetime games. And, if I'm being honest, I was a little bit disappointed that Mike McCarthy is still the head coach, but,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, I hear that. I was saying on the pod on one previous episode that the Cowboys are one of those few teams in any sports league that you say their name and you either love them or you hate them, and there's no in between with the Cowboys. You're either on the boat or you're off. Like,
Nah, nah, there's no in between whatsoever. And I'd argue that even maybe, I mean, the Yankees would probably be the closest competition, but like, if you say the word Cowboys, you're getting a reaction like that,
hmm
like mad quick. Like, you know how someone feels about them within 5 seconds.
Indeed. As a huge Ohio State fan, I feel the same love/hate. I say Buckeyes, people say, yeah, that's my team, or man, I hate them. There's no in between. Very few people say, oh yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, right. It's similar to Duke. I mean, I've said this for a long time. I mean, it's an argument for another day, but I honestly think that Duke and North Carolina and men's basketball is the best rivalry in sports. Honestly, I
And you
really
know
do.
what? Me being biased as an Ohio State fan, I admit, like, I'm watching Duke and North Carolina, and I have no dog in the fight, like none at all. And I'm still watching, eyes glued 2 times a year. So I I would give the slight edge to Duke and North Carolina. I would.
Yeah, but that OSU Michigan, I mean, there's no denying that rivalry too. But it's just like, North Carolina Duke, it just seems like there's so many classic moments and classic games, and it doesn't really matter what the records are. Like,
hmm
there's just so many, I mean, there's so many highlights, so many big games. So I don't know. I've said that for a long time, and I truly actually think it's true. I mean, Yankees, Red Sox, I think would be I don't know. I think to me that would be 1A and 1B. But I don't know. I just think that Duke Carolina is the number one rivalry.
Yeah, I would give it to that. The Yankees and the Red Sox play like 27 times a year, and all the games are on television. After a while, I'm like, does this game matter? Like, and I guess it's
Yeah,
because I'm sitting here in an NL city, and we don't really care about the AL until I don't know the playoffs.
yeah. I don't know. Just I like baseball, but I can't really. I mean, I know what the standings are. I know who's doing well and stuff, but I don't really get into it till like near the trade deadline.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
just
can
way
see
too
that.
long. Like you can be 15 games out of the playoffs right now in May and still make the playoffs.
The Braves did that last year. You can do that.
Like it's crazy. It's just so long of a season that it's almost like it doesn't even matter until July. I mean, I
Right.
know there's some baseball fans that watch, every day, every game, whatever, and all respect to them, but I'd rather just kind of chill and hang out for the first couple months. All right, trade deadline's coming up. Who's buyers? Who's sellers?
Yeah.
Who can still win? Who's out? That's just my attitude towards baseball.
And honestly, I can't deny it. When I was younger, I was really into baseball, but I guess the more time I had on my hands, the more I was like, I want to see other stuff and not watch baseball 162 times a year. It's a lot. Like,
I don't know, man. It
it's a
just seems
bunch.
like it's too much, but it's been that way for so long. It's like, I don't know. It's just that, they're probably going to keep it that way. But I
Probably
mean, it
so.
takes a dedicated baseball fan to pay attention from April all the way till October. That's
Um,
just crazy.
I'm telling you. All right, let me put you on the spot real quick before we move on, Ben. Week 2, Bengals Cowboys. Who wins? What's the score? And who's the key?
That's is it in Dallas? I think it is, right?
Yes, in Dallas.
It's in Dallas. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to say that I favor the Bengals. I think they just got a better team. I mean, Joey Burrow's legit. I mean, what he did last year. I mean, I think that they won on the road. I mean, they beat Tennessee on the road. They beat Kansas City on the road. And if I'm being honest, as a Cowboys fan, which I'm probably the most objective one you'll ever meet, our home field means absolutely nothing. Like the crowd is basically 50-50 almost every home game. Our home field advantage doesn't exist. So I think that and Dallas's defense, they got a lot better last year, and I think that they'll continue that. But their weakness last year, and I think will continue to be, is their run defense. And Joe Mixon's for real. So, I mean, I think that ultimately, I think it'll be a close game, but I think that Mixon, if you're asking for a difference maker, I think that's the answer because I don't really trust our run defense still.
Got you. Okay. And
what about you?
I was kind of going the other way. I really like the Bengals' run offense, but I'm kind of concerned about how the offensive line gels. And right now, I had the Bengals losing 24-21, and I only had them losing twice in the first 9 games of the season. I have them 7-2, and I thought that this might be the one.
One thing is that, like you said, their offensive line, I mean, they, on paper definitely have a better offensive line. They addressed it. But to your point, especially for O-lines, probably more than any other position, it takes some time to gel. So that could play a role, especially with Dallas's pass rush being really good. And their second round pick, I didn't know a ton about, but Sam Williams, I think from Mississippi State, he's an amazing edge rusher. It's about all he's good at as far as, not all he's great at, let's say, but he's supposed to be a really, really good pass rusher. So you had that with D-Law and Parsons. We got a pass rush.
Right. Okay. It'll definitely be an interesting game. And we'll have you back the week before the game so we can, kind of chop it up and see what we think after we see week 1, because week 1 will tell us a lot about what's going on. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy. I mean, it's a test for both teams early on, right?
Right.
I mean, especially Dallas. I mean, let's be honest. They're playing the Bucks and the Bengals. That could be 0-2.
Yeah, that's
those
true.
are two really good. Those are 2 really good teams, and they start 0-2 after how last year ended. We'll see how that could get bad. That could get worse quicker than it gets better.
True indeed. True indeed.
So hopefully that at least they walk out of that 1-1. I mean, they almost beat the Bucks last year, which what's crazy is, and I know we want to get talking towards basketball, but what's crazy to me is Dak, the first 6 games when they were 5-1 before his injury was, he was playing at a top 5 level 100%, and he was looking great. And then, after he came back, he had a stretch of 5 games where he was really, really bad, bottom 10 quarterback, and he kept denying it for some reason. But he was horrible for about a 5-game stretch, and it's just really weird. Part of it was the injury, and I think I did notice a difference. Whereas the beginning he was playing like Brady, whereas I don't care what your name is. If you're open, you're getting the ball. If you're not open, you're not getting the ball.
Right.
And then when he came back, he started forcing it to CeeDee Lamb a lot, and that actually is part of the reason that Amari Cooper is not there anymore, because Amari is a pretty quiet guy, and when he comes out and is like, "Yo, I want the ball," something's going on, because Amari don't talk, and he comes out in a press conference "Yo, I think I can help the team here, not really getting the ball." Well, now really something's up, because he don't cause a stir at all.
Right. And I feel like the defense did a really good job of masking that for you guys, because they were just getting turnovers left and right. And when the defense is picking you up like that, turnovers wise, it's good and it's bad because they're getting the turnovers, but that's not something that can happen every single game. You can't rely on 2 or 3 interceptions every game, because the league just isn't built like that. So I think that's where the Cowboys
a couple of those couple of those games they won because of their opponents. I mean, a couple of those games that I'm talking about, they played the Saints, who played like Taysom Hill at quarterback, who I think got hurt in that game. Then they played like the Giants twice, Washington twice. Like part of that, them winning those games was definitely not because of the offense. I mean, the defense in a couple of the games, I think, outscored the offense. Like just not sustainable at all.
Right. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. I feel like both the Cowboys and the Bengals are going to be two really good teams to be reckoned with throughout the season. And it should be some good ball.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that quarterback play matters, and the Eagles got a lot better, but I mean, there's still a lot of questions about Jalen Hurts, that's for sure. So
right. So we'll definitely see how it goes. Checking out the basketball landscape right now. We're in the conference finals. We have on the East, we have the Celtics against the Heat. And who you got? I know it's 2-1 right now, so we're still kind of early in the series, but who do you think is going to take it?
yeah, I mean, I just think this. I heard it. I forget who said it, but somebody I might have read it or heard it, but they were like, "This is maybe the weirdest 3 games of conference finals like ever," because there's been guys hurt. There's been like, I mean, Boston. I saw this has won, so 3 games. That's 3 times 4, so it's 12 quarters. Boston's won 10 of the 12 quarters.
That's
I
a
mean,
wild
but the
stat.
two like
That's wild.
insane, and they're down 2-1. Like what the hell? But the point is, the 2 quarters they lost significantly. So in game 1, they were up at halftime, which I kind of thought. Game 1, I told I live in Mass, and my wife's family is huge Celtics fan, so I was basically like, they just came off 7 games against the Bucks. They aren't winning game 1. It's not happening. We've seen it for years that after a long series and only a day off, team's not going to win game 1. So I knew that, but so the third quarter of game 1, Miami outscored them 39-14. And then, game 3 the other night, Saturday night, in the first quarter, it was 39-18. So, I mean, that's what, 25 points and 21 points in 1 quarter? That's a lot to overcome. I mean, regardless of stats, there you go. That's why they lost those games. You can't lose quarters by 20-plus points.
You can't. I mean, you can win the other 3 quarters by 3 or 4 points. You lose the other quarter by 20, it's over. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, there's no way. And I will say this, going back to Saturday, I thought it was a huge missed opportunity by Boston because, I mean, Jimmy Butler is obviously the Miami's best player. There's no debating it. And he didn't play the entire second half. And I thought that, to me, that was a huge opportunity that Boston blew because, when your best player is out for a whole half, I know Miami was up that half, I think by 15, but actually what was interesting, the third quarter of that game, Boston made a little bit of a run, but at the end of the third, it was still a 15-point lead. So Jimmy Butler didn't play. You made a little bit of a run in the third quarter, but you actually tied the third quarter. So, and I'm sorry, man, Jason Tatum, I mean, I give him credit for an amazing postseason, which he has had, and to be fully fair to him, he was amazing in Game 6 at Milwaukee. He was the biggest reason that there was a Game 7 in that previous series. 46 points in Game 6 in an elimination game on the road, which is phenomenal. But, man, Game 3, he was pathetic. I mean, I said to a couple of Celtics fans, I'm like, he is the main reason that they lost. He had 10 points, 6 turnovers, and 3 of 14 for field goals. Like, I'm sorry, if that's your best player, and I know Jaylen Brown's really good, and I think Jaylen dropped 40, I think.
Yep.
But, like, if your best player, which Tatum clearly is, plays that bad, that's hard to overcome.
I mean, I said it at the beginning of the series. The Celtics have the best player in the game as far as the Celtics and the Heat. But the Heat have the best team. And I feel like the team ball is going to win out in this series because the defense of the Heat, is so underrated. They play such good defense and they force people into these turnovers, get them running up and down the court. And I just don't think the Celtics are poised enough to handle that type of defense in the playoffs this year. I feel like they need another year or two, and I don't think they have enough to get past the Heat this year. That might change
I mean,
next year, but this year I don't think they have enough.
to your point, I mean, Oladipo was, I mean, he didn't have much of a stat line, but he had 4 steals, and they were not only were they, I believe, I mean, all of them were either on Jaylen Brown or Tatum. So like he wasn't guarding like Peyton Pritchard, for example, or like I mean Horford or something like that. Like
Right.
he was stealing it off like their top dogs. And another guy that this is where like stats and numbers they don't lie, but we know as being huge sports fans, they don't tell the whole story either.
Right. Exactly.
Like Oladipo and Lowry, neither one of them had, I don't even think either one of them had 10 points, but they are the 2 biggest reasons that Miami won that game. I mean, along with Bam obviously going nuts, but
Right.
Lowry
Finally.
and Lowry and Oladipo were huge defensively, leadership. Like they're 2 huge reasons they won that game.
And that stuff really counts in the playoffs because you're not normally going to have these 120, 125 point games, not in playoff ball. You kind of get to throw back to the 90s when you get to the conference finals. It's really who plays the best defense and who steps up in the fourth quarter. And Lowry and Oladipo did a really good job doing exactly what you said. I mean, they played great team ball, great defense, and they stepped up and guarded the best players and did a really good job.
Yeah, and I like kind of what you said on Bam because you said finally. Because
Finally.
it's like where it's like, did he wake up from his nap the first 10 games of the playoffs? I mean, I don't know exactly how many games they played, but damn, like his they showed it on Saturday night. His stats from the regular season, the playoffs, and it was like 10 points less in the playoffs. Like, dude, where have you been? And then obviously, came up huge in game 3, but I don't know, that could be somebody to watch moving forwards because what are you going to get out of him? I mean, he's arguably their second best player. I mean, Lowry, he's great, but he's obviously, I think he's like 37. So
Right.
Bam's their second best player besides Butler. So you're going to need, they don't need 35 points out of him, but they need better consistency than they've gotten. That's for sure.
Right, they definitely need production. And before I move on, I feel like this about Bam. I think that in playoff time, he kind of looks to Butler to carry the squad, and he doesn't realize that Butler needs somebody to help him do the lifting as well. And I think in game 3, it finally kind of clicked for him. Like, you know what? I need to be that strong number 2 like I was before when we were in the bubble. And he just wasn't showing that until game 3. So we'll see if he keeps it going.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the flip switched. I mean, he definitely was a lot more aggressive in game 3, and that, set the tone, especially, that first quarter that they won 39-18, and Bam was a huge part of that. So, I mean, maybe, there were some adjustments, and they're like, Bam, like, you get the ball, you attack. And
Right.
Bam's like, okay, I'll do that. It shouldn't be that simple, but like honestly, maybe it was. They were just like, "Yo, you are passing up these easy opportunities. We know you're better than that, and you know you're better than that. Go fucking do something about it."
Right. Like sometimes it takes somebody just telling you that, like, look, man, step up or sit down.
Yeah, like
Like,
dog, we need you. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's the thing. Like when going back, just to talk about Miami quick. I mean, going back to LeBron and Wade days, like people, they would come at each other pretty aggressively on the court,
true.
and everybody be like, what's going on? And they were just like, listen, if I'm gonna need to call you out, I'm gonna call you out, and they did. And there was never a legitimate issue where it carried over. But they were just like, yo, if you're playing like shit, I'm going to call you out, and I don't care.
Right.
I mean, that's the accountability you need, to be honest.
Yeah. When that stuff was going on, I would always tell people, like, that's just typical workplace arguments. I mean, I've had times where I kind of be with, like, one of my co-teachers, and the kids are having a bad day, and I'm like, look, they're having a bad day because you're doing this or you're doing that. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. And if we have a good relationship, the other person is like, okay, I kind of hear what you're saying, let's not be loud. But at the same time, like, I understand what you're saying. And I feel like Wade and James had that relationship where they could be like, look, man, you cutting the wrong way. You messing me up. Like, let's do this right so we can get a W. That's just
Yeah,
typical workplace stuff, man.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, I didn't answer your question before we shift over to the West. I actually do, which is what makes sports great, is people don't agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say I don't agree. I must say Boston's going to win the series. But
Okay. I can
let's
see that.
let's switch over to the West.
I mean, we don't really
what you
have
think?
to. Like,
Nah.
this will be quick. Um, Dallas will lose in 5, hopefully. Like, I hope this goes 5 games because I just want to see more hoop. I want to see more basketball, and I just got a bad feeling Golden State is about to run away with this.
I mean, they're just significantly better team. There's really no other way to say it. I mean, look at this. This isn't stats, but this is just that I just wrote down. I mean, arguably they're four best players on each team, and basically you can be like, well, yeah, we know who's gonna win based upon this.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the Warriors got Clay, Curry, Draymond, and Wiggins. Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
The Mavs got Luka, Brunson, Finney Smith, Dinwiddie. Who the hell do you think's gonna win?
Yeah, that's tough.
like those
tough.
are the top 4 players on each team. Like, damn, man. Like, how are the Mavs supposed to win? I don't get it. How are they supposed to win with that?
I mean, it's crazy because I had a feeling they would beat the Suns just because of the Suns style of ball. They kind of keep you in games long enough to make you feel like you can win it. And I just had a feeling that Dallas will pull it out with Luka. They just don't have the team that can match up with the Warriors. I mean, they just don't.
Nah. And I will say this on Luka, and I think that it won't end the same way, but I will say that Luka getting this team to the conference finals, especially beating the Phoenix with 64 win regular season Phoenix, it's reminding me of LeBron in 2007. The only difference would be LeBron carried the Cavs team to the finals. Luka might only get to the conference finals, but I mean the team, it's just completely, it's almost the same. I mean, I think that LeBron was 24. I think Luka's 23. Like, clearly overmatched teams and getting them. So I do want to give credit to Luka because he was, and it's crazy too. Like, this is his playoff averages as of now, which there's a game going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
But he's played 25 games. He's 33 points a game, 9 assists. 9 boards and 8 assists. And I mean, you have to remember, a bunch of those games, the first 2 years, were against 2 of the best perimeter defenders in the entire league.
Right.
Kawhi and Paul George. So, like, Luka's going to be Luka. It's just he's not going to get enough help from the others. So, yeah, the Warriors they're just better, man. There's no other way to look at it.
Right. I mean, there's really not much else to say about it. Hopefully Luka gets some more help in the off season because that'll definitely be good for him. He won't have all that wear and tear on his body from basically carrying teams on his shoulders. For me, it's reminiscent of what Allen Iverson did in 2001 when he carried his team to the finals. And you looking at the squad that he had, I mean, Eric Snow and Aaron McKee and Dikembe Mutombo, who was kind of on the downslide. I mean, it was heroic what he did to get that team not only to the conference finals, but they had the best record in the East, and it was crazy. I
still say to this point, the 2 worst teams that make the NBA Finals are the 0-1 Sixers and the 2007 Cavs. To me, there's really no other competition. I think those are the 2 worst teams to make an NBA Finals.
I would agree with that, and I would say the Mavericks had the worst team to win a finals when they beat the Heat.
Oh my God!
I don't know how they did that.
Me being a LeBron guy, I'm also very objective about him and the Cowboys. I'm just an objective guy, and I'm sorry, that was the worst superstar performance in NBA Finals history. Hey. He was awful. There's no other way to say it. He was pathetic, especially in the 4th quarters of those games. I mean, he was awful. There's no other way to say it.
I am a LeBron appreciator, man. Like, I feel like he's one of the most hated superstars in sports, and I really don't get why. But I was looking at that like, how did this happen? Like, I still don't understand it. That was a wild year.
We do say that, sports there's a lot to it, mental, physical, psychological. And I think that, part of that was, and he said it, I think, years afterwards, that that year he was trying to be somebody he wasn't the entire year. He was trying to be the villain because everyone painted him to be the villain. So he's like, okay, I'll take on this personality, but it's like that's not your personality.
Right.
And I think that that played a role that you're essentially acting out a character to perform or be someone that you're not. That's like that almost in a way sort of takes away from you on the basketball court because you're trying to focus on being somebody that you really aren't. So It's like that combined with the fact that he still felt that it was Wade's team and he didn't want to overstep Wade, that those two things played a role. And then, obviously he just got in his own head. But I mean, for being honest, from that point on, he's been the most clutch player in the NBA.
Yep. I think that was the year he learned how to embrace the hate and not let the hate turn him into somebody that he wasn't. Because after that year, he was like, okay, I'm going to get this hate. There's not much I can do about it, so I'm just going to play through it instead of just trying to be this completely different person.
Yeah, two things happened. One was Wade and him went on that vacation, and Wade was like, man, I know I've been here, but basically you're better than me. So I need you to be that guy. You don't have to worry about overshadowing me. Like, you need to be that guy. And like you said, LeBron probably came to the realization, listen, no matter what I do, no matter what I say off the court, on the court, people are going to hate me, people are going to love me. So fuck it all. Either you like me or you don't. And that's it. And then he just obviously, he stepped it up after that. But
facts on that. All right, we're gonna play some fill in the blank. I'm gonna give you a question and then you just kind of fill it in with the number. All right, let's just do that.
I like it.
Chris Paul is a top blank point guard in NBA history.
I got him at 6.
You got him 6, so you got him top 10.
Top 10. I got him at 6.
Okay, why you say top 10? Like, why you say 6?
So if I'm going to say 6, I have to say, who's above, who's behind, or at least give some context.
Okay.
So a couple of big names I got him ahead of would be Nash, Stockton, and Jason Kidd. And then as far as who I have him behind would be Magic, Isaiah Thomas, Curry, Jerry West, and Oscar Robertson. That's what I got as a top 5. So yeah, he's sitting there at 6 to me. That's where I got him. Where do you have him?
I got him top 10. I have him lower than where you have him. I have him like kind of in that 8-9 range. The people that you put behind, I put in front. And for me,
all of them, Nash too.
I would say Nash would be 9, and I would say Chris Paul would be 8.
Okay, so you got Stockton, Kidd, then Paul, then Nash. So you got Paul at 8 pretty much.
Right. And for me, I feel like Patrick Beverley said something that was interesting, but wasn't 100% true. He was basically saying, like, you give somebody the keys to the car long enough, they're going to put miles on it. So he's saying, like, you give Chris Paul enough years, he's going to put up the stats to make him look like he's a top 10 guy. But I'm like, if you say that, then you're saying the same thing about Stockton. You're saying the same thing about who else played at that time?
That's too big. That's too big a generalization.
Right. In
I
order
get
for you
what
to
he's
play
saying,
for that
but
long, you have to be good. People aren't just going to let you play for 15, 16 years and you're average. It just doesn't work that way.
That's why what the LeBron haters do. They're like, well, of course he's going to get numbers. He's played so long. It's okay. Well, isn't it an accomplishment he's played that long? Like, what do you mean he's played that long, so he's going to get those numbers? Okay, so then why didn't everybody else play that long?
Exactly. And why don't
they
have that same,
that long?
Right. And if they played that long, how can they have the same stat line as him?
Exactly. Then okay, well, if you got like 20 other guys that played that long, they ain't got his numbers. But just to go back to Paul, one thing I do want to give him credit for. He's been on a bunch of teams, and the new teams he goes to basically are automatically 20 wins better. It's crazy. Like, he does make a difference on a team, wins and losses. He went OKC the one year that Oklahoma City was I mean, they weren't good. They were the 6th seed, and I forget who they played the first round. It might have been the Spurs, but they almost beat it. They went to Game 7. They almost won that. I mean, the Suns, before he got there, weren't a playoff team, weren't anything. He takes from the NBA Finals and then best record, and doesn't work out in the playoffs. But I mean, Chris Paul, I mean, he goes to a team and they automatically get better. So if we just want to be fair to him overall. He definitely makes an impact on winning or losing.
And for that reason, there's no way I could put him outside of the top 10. There's no way I could put these other point guards that have been in the league for maybe not as long, and they don't have the same kind of effect on his teams. Every team that Chris Paul went on, you look at that team and go like, they're better than what they were before he got there. And I feel like that's saying something, especially in the point guard position, because that's your job overall is the point. You have to make your team better, and Chris Paul does that almost to a championship degree. Almost. And you got to give him credit for
I mean,
that.
not only that, the Clippers and the Suns were basically trash. And he gets there. They're in the playoffs in year 1. Facts are facts.
When you're playing 2K and you want to get to the worst team for the last couple of years, you pick the Suns. That's what you did. You were like, okay, I'm going to be on the Suns.
That's what I'm saying. Booker was scoring
championship.
I think Booker had 70 points at Boston one game, but he was just putting up numbers, but he couldn't win.
Right, he was just jacking up shots.
It was kind of like Kyrie before LeBron got there.
And it really says
Kyrie
something.
Kyrie had his numbers, but they weren't winning.
Right, and we're talking about Chris Paul. He's 6 foot 6'1", and he's making this difference to a team. That's phenomenal to me, for real, because normally somebody you bring in to make a difference, we're talking about a wing player, 6'7", 6'8".
Talk about Luka. Luka's 6'8".
Right.
It's like a 6'8" point guard. I mean, he's different. They're usually not that tall, but just to give an example, the height discrepancy. But I will say this, and this is partly due to age and partly due to the size. Part of the reason Dallas won that series is because they attacked him on defense.
Yep.
And that's going to be a blueprint going forward. Tire him out by making him work on both ends. So, I don't think there's a way for him to avoid that. He's not going to grow. He's not going to get taller.
It doesn't
and
work
he's not going
way.
to get younger. So, teams are just going to do that moving forward. So they're probably going to add some pieces just to take a little bit off of him. Not that they're going to get him and he's older, but they almost need a younger Kyle Lowry almost. Another guy who can be a point guard, who can be that distributor. Booker is great, but he can't really be a true point guard. So almost they need a Kyle Lowry that can be that second point guard, just a younger Kyle Lowry. I can't think of a name right now, but that type of guy.
If they could find somebody in the draft, that would be a really good move. Just find somebody that can kind of build up to that spot, kind of give them minutes early in the season to kind of help them out late. That would be a really good move for the Suns if they could do that.
There's no other way if they are going to win, and I think that's it. To be honest, we want to be, 100 or real, whatever you want to say. I think this was his best chance. I don't think he's going to get a ring now. They had the best team in the regular season. Everything was lining up. This was the year. I think that, he's going to just end up like Barkley and Stockton and Ewing and those Hall of Famers that don't get a ring. But if they are going to get a ring, they need a true point guard to help them out.
Facts on that. All right. I got another one for you. All right. You just kind of fill in the blank with the word that you feel like is the most appropriate. We kind of switching gears to college football now. All right. So.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. What Nick Saban said about the state of college football is blank.
An old grumpy man complaining about not having as much power as he used to.
Hey, you killing me over here, man.
I hear what's going on. I'm like, yo, you're just mad that the kids actually have a voice and they have some power. You're just mad that you don't have it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
For real, Saban, not taking anything away from him, is one of the best coaches ever, regardless of the sport. But these kids and, I like it personally. There's a lot of people that don't, but I think that these kids can, get every opportunity, to, the name, image, and likeness and get some money now. I think it's a great thing. And the transfer portal, I think, I thought it was crazy that the kids were like, okay, just to give an example, I'm at University of Florida. I want to go to Oklahoma. It used to be obviously, go to Oklahoma, you had to wait a year. Like that didn't make any sense to me. That was completely like, there's no common sense behind that. So now they can go to another school and play right away. So, but yeah, I thought that whole thing was just, yeah. And like what I originally said, I'm going to stick to that. An old man complaining about power that he's lost power to the kids and he's not happy about it.
I felt like if I had to finish that, I would say it's out of touch. It's that kind of that old coach network where you're supposed to play for the scholarship and you're not supposed to worry about all this stuff on the outside. And it's really unfair because what the coaches do is they basically run to the best deal and they don't have to worry about sitting out a year from coaching, or they don't have to worry about not doing a talk show for an hour and getting paid another $500,000 a year for that. They don't have those worries. They can pretty much do what they want to do. So then they see the players kind of getting a little teeny tiny bit of that, and it kind of freaks them out because, like you said, they don't have that control. And it's really kind of messed up that they expect the players to listen to every single thing that they say, be about loyalty and all that stuff. And they run to the highest dollar nonstop. They're just really
you
out
got
of
Jimbo
touch.
Fisher, who, him and Saban were battling. He went from Florida State to A&M.
Mm-hmm.
You got Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma to USC. The list could keep going. These coaches always leave. Going to another sport, like I'm a Carolina fan. So, Roy Williams going from Kansas to North Carolina, like these things happen all the time.
Right.
And like you said, now the players have that, ability to do that. And it's always been that way for coaches. They always go to a better opportunity. Now the players have that opportunity and they don't like it.
Yeah. And it's like, us as adults, we look for the best job possible, the one that makes us feel good and the one that pays a lot of money. So I'm not really upset with the coaches doing that, but don't stop the players from doing that because it makes no sense. You recruit a quarterback and they find out that, there's two quarterbacks in front of them and you're not letting them play like you thought that they would. So they want to move on. Why are you stopping them from doing that? It really makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's like the mentality is, we're grown men. These are 18 and 19-year-olds. They don't know what's best for them. It's like, no, man, if you can do it, then they can do it.
Yeah.
like you're a human being. He's a human being. You have the same rights, or you should. That's another topic for another day. This is a dangerous statement. I didn't even realize I was saying that as I was saying that. But, we got a laugh out of that. But yeah, like you're saying, man, if the player sees another opportunity, it's the same as a coach seeing an opportunity. You leave for that opportunity. The player should do the same damn thing.
Yeah, that's how it should be. I tell you this though, what's going to be really interesting is the fact that for the next couple of years, there's no scholarship limit for the teams this year or next year. They can pretty much recruit past 25 players. So for me, that's going to be really interesting to see a team like Ohio State and what they do with that, or a team like USC, because people are transferring left and right now because they're not getting playing time. So I can only imagine what happens when you get a team like Ohio State with 35, 3, 4, 5-star recruits, and then 20 of them is looking like, yeah, I'm not playing here. I want to go somewhere else. Like, that's going to really change a lot of stuff.
It's kind of like, they're trying to fix the problem, but not realizing that they're probably making the problem worse. Because the NCAA is thinking that increasing the scholarships is going to lead to less people transferring. But in reality, I agree with you that it'll probably lead to more people transferring.
Right. And we could probably spend about 25 more minutes talking about how messed up the NCAA is.
Oh, man. They talk about it's kind of like, man, because go back to basketball real quick. It's like here on the East Coast, my wife's family was talking about how all the games are at 8:30, and I'm like, it's all about money. And they're like, what you talking about? I'm like, everybody that's on the West Coast can't see these games. The NBA gets more ratings. The NBA gets more money.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think the NCAA championship game starts like at 9:30? Same thing for the West Coast on a Monday, and it starts at 9:30. It's all about money. The leagues, the corporations, whatever, they care about money. Like, that's what it is. And all these, TV ratings are a big part of the money. So that's why these games are starting later, because of that.
Right. That's 100% true. I mean, it's all about the mighty dollar, and the NCAA is kind of like, we're not going to regulate much because
they take it to the extreme.
Oh,
goodness. I mean, they talk about like billions of dollars, like legit.
Yeah,
like with crazy money.
With that television contract alone for March Madness netted them like a cool billion or something like that.
Man. Yeah, like there was something crazy where like if you make the NCAA tournament, like it was something like every school that makes the tournament gets like $300,000 or something just by making the tournament. It was something crazy like that, like legit, like some crazy number. That might not be accurate, but it was a big number, put it to you that way.
Man. I'm trying to get the wife to let me become a college coach, man, but she doesn't want to go through the grind. She doesn't want to move like 2 times in a year for 20 years straight. I'm like, yeah, suck it up. We can make millions. Just saying.
I mean, shit. I mean, that's a good dream to have, but, sounds like an argument you might not be winning. You might want to work on that.
I wrapped it up a while ago. It's not happening.
Man.
So before we jet out, normally what I do here is I kind of talk about something, life kind of stuff. So what I want to hear from you is what was your worst customer service experience? Because I had yet another one, and I figured I kind of bring it to the table. So what was your worst customer service experience?
I mean, honestly, I kind of actually had to think about this one. I guess that's a good thing. I haven't had too many bad ones, but there was one that came up recently. It had to do with a lawnmower. It was Yard Max, and the damn thing worked for probably like 3 months, and it was impossible to get in touch with them. Just like the lack of communication. There was emails, there was calls, there was voicemails. I mean, most recently, like maybe about a month ago, guy was like, yeah, I'm going to mail you a part. It's on back order right now, but I'm going to put it in. It'll be expedited, this and that. Never heard from him again. That was like a month ago. Finally, I decided, well, let me just go back to the store. They're not going to give me the money back, but I might as well try. And I went to Lowe's, and they were just like, yeah, we can't do anything about it. And Lowe's was like, yeah, we've been having a lot of problems with Yard Max. So, like, basically, like, don't do that again. I was like, yeah, I don't plan on it. But, like, it's just crazy. I mean, the one good thing about it is, when you spend some money and it doesn't work out, there's a difference between $500 hit, $1,000 hit, whatever. Like, luckily it was like only $180. So that's not like a big hit in the grand scheme of things. But like, yeah, it was just lack of communication, and just like they kept on trying to push it over to the store. And I was like, no, this is not the store. Like, it's you guys. You guys have the warranty. And they're like, oh, it's just for the parts. I'm like, okay, then send me the parts. Like, okay, well, it's on back order. I'm like, oh, well, that's great. That doesn't help me. And then, like, you don't respond when I ask about it. I emailed the guy back. I was like, hey, can I get an update? And at least if I was him, I would have been like, yeah, I have no idea. And I would have been mad, but at least he would have said something. He didn't say nothing. It's like, I don't know, I guess that's one of my pet peeves, is like people are afraid that can happen in personal life and at work. People are afraid to like have any type of conversation that they feel isn't going to go great.
Right.
Like any type of, like, that bothered me, like when I was at work, when like people would say they're going to call people back or follow up with people, and then 90% of the time when it was a tough conversation, they didn't call back because they felt that was better. But it's like, no, that makes it worse, not better.
Because it doesn't go away. I mean, it's still there.
Yeah, like most of the time, I mean, there's always going to be that, I call it like the 5%ers. The 5% of people that are going to be belligerent and mad and crazy no matter what, no matter who they talk to. They can't be talked off a ledge. But to me, the majority of people, in my experience, when I would call some of those people back, like you call them back a week later, you're like, listen, I got nothing. I'm still working on it, but I can't tell you anything today that I could have told you a week ago.
Right.
And 95% of the time, they'd be like, all right, thanks for following up. Thanks for giving me a call back. And boom, that was it. But people are afraid to have that conversation. It's like, bro, it's not that hard. Just tell them you're working on it and you don't have an answer. And at least they're like, okay, well, somebody is working on it. Somebody cares. But like, people didn't want to have that conversation. It's like, bro, like, if you say you're going to do something, just do it. Like,
Right.
It's not that hard. It's
Or
a
at
pretty
least try
simple
your
concept.
best to get it done.
Yeah, like, but people are just like, that's what it is. People are afraid. I even have a personal example that's not even customer service, but like, I play on a soccer team and I'm like, kind of like the, manager. I organize and everything. And this kid, like a month ago, was all in, said he was down to play, all this jazz, and, just didn't show up the first 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay, I mean, something could have been going on, whatever. Kind of left it as is. I texted him on Friday, a couple days ago, nothing, no response. And like in a nice way, like not blaming him, not getting mad at him, like just basically, like I remember one of the things I said was like, listen, I want you, like you're on the team, but if you're not, you got to tell me.
Right.
So I know. And then he didn't say anything. And I texted him again today, nothing, no response. Like, bro, just tell me you're out. You don't have the money or your family issues or something. Just say something.
And what
Like,
was
it doesn't
supposed
make
to
any
happen
sense to me.
is, like, you were supposed to just not call and then figure out through, I don't know, osmosis that he wasn't on the team and didn't want to play. I mean,
It's like, bro, just tell me. Like, bro, and I used to say, it's so funny. I know you've got examples, and here I am taking 20 minutes over here. But like, I used to be like, when I was single, when I'd go out on dates and stuff, I'd be like, yo, if you don't like me, like, just tell me. Be like, yo, fuck off. Like, you're one of the worst dates I ever had.
yeah,
Okay, that's fine. I'll be good. Trust me.
It's the
But girls
stringing
did,
along. Like,
yeah, like, bro, just tell me. I'll be good. Like, I'm good. Just tell me, like, it ain't, you're not a good, I don't want to be with you, or like, I don't want to go on another date, or that was, okay, fine, bye. I'll move on. You can move on.
And the honesty would be appreciated. It's not like that's what you want to hear, but hearing it at that point rather than, 3-4 months down the road where you wasted all of this time thinking it was going to go somewhere. Yeah, I get that completely.
Just keep it real, man. Like, people don't like the truth. People are afraid to tell the truth. And I don't know, me, I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit. Like, if I need to tell you something, I'm gonna tell you. Like, that's just it. That's the way it is, and that's how I want people to be with me. Like, that's why, like, for real, like, I'm asking, just as you are probably, for feedback with our podcast and stuff. And I'd rather somebody tell me, like, man, I don't like, that stuff sucks, rather than lying to me and being like, yeah, you guys are great, blah blah blah. Like, nah, man, just tell me how it is. If you listen to it and you don't like it, shit, at least you listened to it once.
Yeah, and give me that feedback.
At least you gave it a shot. Just tell me, like, hey, it isn't my thing, or I don't like the whatever. Just be honest, man. Like, that's it. I can take just about anything. You ain't gonna bring me down. Like, I'm good.
Right. I mean,
so,
as long
I
as
don't know.
as long as you're being honest with it and you give me feedback that's like actually constructive, I'm good. I just don't be like, yeah, I just hate you. Like, why? Like,
yeah, like, what did I do to you?
You
I didn't hook up with your wife. Like, what's good? Like, I didn't go over to your house and like steal something. Like, man, like but like, yeah, like you said, man, just like people are afraid to, quote unquote, keep it real. It's like, nah, man, like that's the best way to be.
Yeah.
I mean, with some discretion. I mean, you're not gonna just like at work be like, yo, you suck at your job. Like, be out of here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there's some
discretion,
but just be honest. Like, that's the best way to be. And I don't know. That's just kind of the way I am.
I feel you. And actually, what you said is what happened to me. I usually go into customer service situations, expecting, the best. I treat everybody with respect. I expect that in return. It's not like I walk into it like, yeah, what's going to happen now? I'm like, hey, what's going on LP? And this happened with my car. Now, my car, the fuel gauge has been out since last July. And it's one of those situations where nothing else is wrong but the fuel gauge. It just reads E all the time.
It's just always on. It's just always on empty.
It's just always on empty. So, you know, you got the little odometer. You can kind of chart how many miles you've went. So I'm like, I'm just filling up when I hit 200 every single time. Now, at some point, this just gets to be too much. I'm tired of worrying about breaking down on the road. I'm like, let's get this fixed. So I take it to the car guy. I specifically tell him, I'm like, look, I need this car back by Saturday. It's Tuesday right now. If you can't do this, just tell me now. I'll take it somewhere else. But I need to know if you can have the car fixed by Saturday. He's like, I need to look at it first. I'm like, please do. He looks at it. He's like, oh, this is easy. You just need a fuel pump. All right. We can get this done by Friday. I'm like, cool. Appreciate you. Thursday rolls around. I'm like, we good? Hey, we good. Friday rolls around. I'm like, we good? We good. Saturday rolls around. I'm ready to pick the car up. We got a problem. I'm like, what? Are you serious right now? Yeah, man. Your battery's out and, you know, the fuel gauge is hard to get to. And I'm like, we serious right now? Yeah, you know, Monday at the earliest, and that's pushing it. I wanted to rip what little hair I have out, man. I'm like,
I told you, I need it by Saturday. It's not that complicated. If you figured out these problems on Friday, and then you decided not to tell me till Saturday, like, you got an issue. Like, if you knew, you probably knew this on Friday, but you didn't. You waited to tell me till Saturday.
Man, and the frustrating part is, you know, these newfangled cars nowadays, to get to my battery, now, no joke, to get to the battery is behind the driver's side tire. That's where the battery is. There's no way I can check that battery. I have to take off the tire. I have to open up the mud flap. Dead serious.
What
You gotta open up the mud flap. You need like a special tool to get the battery out from under the back of I'm like, how would I ever get a jump? Like, say I need a jump. What am I supposed to do? Like,
here, just hang out with me for like an hour and a half. Listen to my podcast while you're waiting. And let me just take the tire off. And luckily I got a beer for you, so maybe I can help you out for a little bit with that. And let me just take off this tire real quick. I'll be with you in about 45 minutes. All right.
Man,
like,
then when he told me, I didn't even believe him. I went on YouTube and Googled 2017 Dodge Journey, and they started taking out the tire. I'm like, are you serious? That's really where it is? And I'm like, there's no way I can check to see if the tire was dead or not. I mean, if the battery was dead or not. So
yeah,
they got me for like an extra $250 because of the labor to take off the tire and I'm like, and they didn't get it done until Tuesday. I'm like,
let me ask you a question, because this is, I kind of take this to the extreme where I don't go anywhere unless I check out your reviews.
Right.
And when I say anywhere, like barbershop, like doctor's office, like I look up reviews all the time before I go anywhere. You do the same or no?
100%. The wife is big on reviews, and she kind of got me on that too. Wherever we go, it's like, let's check the reviews. And I do understand that, you know, some companies kind of inflate the reviews, but when you see enough of them, you kind of know where you're going with that place. And this spot, they had a lot of good reviews.
This place had good reviews and everything?
Yeah, for the most part. They had like one or two bad ones. And I noticed that those one or two bad ones was what happened to me. And I'm like, okay. So
they just have one issue and one problem. That's it. If it's anything else, they'll take care of you, no problem.
Apparently so. I made sure I put that in the review. I'm like,
like legit. That's
like if you have one thing that's wrong with your vehicle,
like if it's this problem, here. then we suck. Like if it's this thing, do not go here. If it's anything else, you good.
Man, I'm like, I should have typed it up just like that. I should have said that. Like, I made it like halfway professional until I got to the middle, then I just kind of went off. Like,
yeah, like you just kind of, I mean, you got thrown around, man. It's kind of like you got, you know, you went through went through the lion's den.
Yeah.
For no reason, really. I mean, it wasn't that complicated of an issue.
Not for real, but I know better now. It's wild.
Absolutely. You ain't going back there again.
Oh, no, never.
I got a real quick one.
Go ahead.
Customer service related. Real quick. So we were in what's the food chain that's you have to pay for BJ's. So we're in a BJ's, and this is where I was also surprised that this was in a BJ's. But this guy was like selling iPhones and like iPhone covers and everything. And I was there with my brother-in-law, Steve, my wife's brother, and we both were not interested, and we made it very clear to this guy. And Steve was on the phone, and I told the guy, like, I have no interest, like, I'm good. And the guy's still talking, still pitching. And I'm, like, getting a little bit annoyed. I think I told him to stop, like, again or something. And then literally, like, sometimes we're like, you look back, you're like, shit, I was kind of an asshole in that moment. Like like, like you take your hand to your throat, like cut it out, like stop.
Right.
Like I was like a little bit far away from him, and he was still talking, and I just did that. Like I couldn't say it any other way. Like I already told you nicely, like bro, just stop talking.
Yeah, they get
like
way too
as
aggressive,
simple as
man.
that. Just stop, man. Like we're done.
And they think they can change your mind. They're like, well, I understand you need to go, but just one real fast. Like, whoa, like chill out. I just told you I got stuff to do. Like, I'm trying to be nice, man, but like, get away from me. Like,
yeah, like, bro, I ain't gonna just sugarcoat you and just let you talk for a half hour to tell you, no, I don't want it. I'm gonna tell you right now, no, right. I don't want it. You're wasting your time. Like, that's it.
It's that honesty. I'm like, you work on commission, like you wasting your time with me. It's a no. Go somewhere
that's
else.
Why, like, I had this one job a long ass time ago that it was like commission only. It was like really weird. Like we had like these promotions, and you had to like walk in. You literally like parked your car and you walked into every business and tried to basically sell them. The most popular one was like we had 12 tickets to this comedy connection place for like $20, which was a crazy deal for a really good comedy place. But like, it's one of those things that like you couldn't just like leave a card, like they had to buy it like right then and there.
Right.
And so my coworkers would be like, stay talking to people after they already told them no. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? They already told you no. Like you ain't gonna like just move on. Like that's it. Like they done. And just move on, because at that point that job was commission only, and I see some of my coworkers like hanging out in this store for like 15 minutes. I'm like, bro, you ain't changing their mind. Like you're just costing yourself money. Like what are you doing?
You just wasting time.
Keep it moving.
Man, that's crazy.
Like what are you doing? Like for real. I wanted to just say to him like, legit, like, you want to, like, I mean, you can, I wouldn't do this, but, you want to shake someone and be like, yo, what are you doing? Like, just like, for real, what are you doing?
That's when you're trying to shake the sense back into them. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, like that, like, bro, like, I don't understand what you're doing, but I can tell you one thing, you're wasting your fucking time, I'll tell you that.
I'm telling you. Hey, they'll figure it out. Hey, Ben, man, it's been nice having you back, man. It's been nice having you here. Let them know where to find you so they can hear all this good content from you and yours.
Yeah, absolutely, man. LP, it's been a pleasure. I know we went maybe a little bit longer, but it was a great conversation.
It's all good, man.
Death, Taxes, and Sports Podcast on Twitter. It's at DT Sports 33. It's me and my two co-hosts. We're striving to bring you a lot of content and just kind of keep it interesting. One last time, it's at DT Sports 33. LP, it was a pleasure, man. Happy to come on and collaborate with you.
It's a pleasure, man. Looking forward to having you again, man. We'll do this again right before the Cowboys and the Bengals suit up, man.
Oh yeah, that'll be an interesting week.
Yeah, yes indeed, yes indeed.
If you're not ready for the conversation to end, I'm not either. Make sure to catch me on Twitter. That's the Cincy fan talking. Leave off the G at the end of it, and we can keep the conversation going. Also, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button so you can catch the next episodes. The episodes will drop every Tuesday. If there's a change in that, I'll make sure to let you know. Appreciate the support. As always, life is good.